How many passwords does your website come with? If you thought that your bunch of your old email accounts and internet banking passwords were difficult to remember, you would be surprised to know how many passwords a new web hosting client will have to remember. When you set up a website, you are exposing yourself to a memory game, which can be useful and also annoying at times. Security and convenience are inversely proportionate, i.e., more security equals less convenience and vice versa. This article takes a look at the number of passwords a typical website or hosting account comes with. Although you may not need to remember all of these, they all serve different purposes. Email accounts. Almost every website has at least one email account linked with the domain name. This means that you need to remember at least one more password when you set up your website. This email password is used for both webmail and also for accessing mail remotely from a locally installed email client like Outlook or Thunderbird. Thankfully, there aren't separate passwords for webmail and mail clients, and both can be accessed by the same login credentials. Database. Whether you are using MS SQL or MySQL for your website, you need to create at least one username and password to access the databases. One user can be given access to multiple databases, but still you need to set up at least one user. Most CMS systems which use a database automatically create a separate user for each database. To allow your CMS to access the database, you need to put in the database username and password into a config file, which allows an automated connection to the database. Hosting control panel. This is one of the most important passwords for your website, because with this password, you can control most of the other passwords and reset or modify them. The Web Hosting Control Panel allows you to manage and customize all the other services provided to you. This means that all passwords, including FTP, databases, email accounts, and even mailing lists, can all be reset from here. Domain Control Panel. Almost all websites have their own domain name. This domain name is also managed with a username and password, so that you can modify the DNS, change the WHOIS contact info, unlock the domain name, and perform additional domain management functions. Mailing lists. Although mailing lists are used by just a small handful of web hosting clients, those who do use it will need to remember the list administrator password. This password will allow them to manage their lists, add members, manage subscriptions, and allow full customization of list emails. Website CMS system. Nowadays, people prefer to build a website through a CMS system rather than get it custom designed. This means that they will need to remember at least one additional password to access the administration interface for their CMS. WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and all other content management systems have a separate admin login for you to update your website and manage users. FTP. Most control panels for hosting integrate the FTP login, so that you can use your default control panel login as the main FTP account too. However, some service providers require you to set up a separate custom FTP login. Billing. Most hosters automate their services and have a billing software to manage payments, account administration, refunds, invoicing, and reminders. These systems allow the clients to manage all their services and products purchased from the host. Every user is given a login name through which they can manage their services and perform billing and accounting functions. This means that without this username and password combination, you could lose control of your online presence.